Hi, this is Melanie for Pardesi. I went to see a Tamil film today, Surya's new film, Thaana Serndha Kootam. I hope I'm not murdering that, which means a gang formed on its own. It is a retelling of the Hindi film Special 26, which I have not seen. So I'm not going to be comparing it to the original Hindi film because, I mean, I read the Wikipedia, kind of got the gist of it, but after the fact, after I went to this film. But I know they're both based on a real life heist, which I believe has never been solved. So, and it just sounded fascinating to me, the audacity of the whole thing. It's unusual for there to be really an Indian kind of heist film, like Ocean's 11 or whatever. And I love those kind of movies, or The Italian Job or whatever. I just love a team of characters brought together and they're doing a heist and, you know, pulling the wool over the authorities and everything. I love it. So I was excited at the premise of it. I really admire Surya, although I've only seen him in one film, but that film was incredible. I saw him in 24, and that was, of course, a triple role, and he's so charming. Frankly, I really loved him in that film, but he was even more charming in this film, in Thaana Serndha Kootam. So he plays an educated person, but of a humble background, who is interviewing for a job in the CBI. We saw that in the teaser trailer. There's a very funny line right at the beginning that was also in the trailer about, well, why didn't you want to be a policeman? And he's like, I think we have enough police. So, you know, making a little bit of a joke about his Singham character, which again, I've not seen his Singham films. I've not seen Gaijini either, but I want to. To be honest with you, I had forgotten that we had a very brief glimpse of Ramya Krishnan from Bahubali, who I love, Sivagami. I had forgotten that she had a brief appearance in the trailer. And so when her big entrance scene came and Surya approaches her and she turns around in her fall, she was awesome. And I could never have guessed from the trailer what a large role that she had in the heist and in the whole film itself. She's the only, really, besides Surya, the only member of the team that you get more of a detailed backstory of to why she would risk it all and be in a heist like this and be in a caper like this. So she was absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can imagine how bold she was. I mean, they kind of made fun of it at one point of how she would give that steely stare and you know, really? Are you gonna get past the Sivagami stare? No, you're not. So, but then that she was nervous about it and was, you know, play acting. So, you know, in her regular life. So I loved her character. Keerthy Suresh plays Surya's love interest, and I just saw her in Agnyatavasi, and I have to tell you, I loved her character in this one 1,000 times more. 1,000. She was so much better in this film. She's her own kind of a Robin Hood character, but in a different way. I love that she wasn't just, you know, an innocent, naive, you know, ingenue. She had her own con going in a way, and so she was fun, but she didn't have as much to do as Ramya had. So she was just there to have a love song and whatever, and you know what, it was fine. I enjoyed those numbers. The first half of the film, Surya was so charming. The big dance numbers in the street with him wearing a plaid lungi, loved it. Loved all those big numbers in the first half. But then the second half got a little bit preachy, a little bit bogged down in the pacing, and then we finally get to the last big heist, and I don't know if I completely agree with the way the ending was, how he got out, you know, how he gets out of the final jam. I don't know. I mean, you know, it feels weird to be splitting hairs on moral relativity when, you know, we're rooting for the criminals in a movie. But anyway, Surya, though, was just really great in this film. And I just had such a good time in the film, and it just contrasted with me. If you have a choice this weekend, I know this film is also playing in Telugu. I believe the title is Gang. If you have a choice between this and Agyatavasi, there is no choice. This one all the way. This is the movie to see this weekend versus the other one because it's just so much more entertaining. It has a few fight scenes, but that's really not what the whole film is about. But, you know, Surya does very well with that. It's a period piece. I know I wasn't getting all of the 80s kind of references, but they were evidently referencing a certain kind of cola or something that doesn't exist anymore. And the cars were all very periods. It was fun, but some of that was lost on me because I just don't get all of those references. But from other reviews that I read when I got home, the production design was very good with all of that and keeping a lot of 80s references in the frame. Surya just carries off that, he just inherently can carry off doing the government official and just having all of that authority about him. But what I loved is then he sort of has this charming impish grin like, can you believe I'm getting away with this? And it was just, I don't know, it was just awesome how he kind of went back and forth. This was a really great character for him. I'd love to know, I mean, I have heard about the Singham film, and there's a whole series of those, and Gaijini. What other Surya films are your favorite? Because I really admire him. I've only seen 2 of his films, but I want to see more. So let me know what you think that I should see first. I mean, I'm leaning towards Singham because that's such a big, I mean, obviously I've seen the Hindi version, but I'm really curious as to how he pulled it off and how different he was in that character. Obviously it was such a big thing that then they remade it in Hindi, as they often do. If you enjoyed this review, please press that like button, share the video, subscribe to us here on Pardesi, and if you hit the bell, then you'll get a notification whenever I do a new review or trailer reaction video, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Pardesi YT.